This everything needs to be perfect. I decided to focus upon me and let people see this the power supply facey, because I always used to focus so that only the white background in my back, and there's lesser distraction. But I think today we'll focus it on, and let's see how our daily reading exercise goes on. Hi there, sorry for the little adjustment. I wanted my entire body in this flaunt this t-shirt of mine which I had bought while I was in PG, and my class had been cancelled one day, and that day I bought this. Sometimes free time gives you pleasures, and better it keeps better surprises than you are expecting. So the chapter for today is flowering plants, angiosperms. The angiosperms include most flowers, herbs, shrubs, vines, grasses, and blossom-producing broadleaf trees. The presence of flowers and seeds enclosed in fruits. Angiosperms means seed and receptacle. Differentiate them from gymnosperms such as conifers. There are two great groups of angiosperms: monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Monocot seeds have one cotyledon seedlings in the seeds. Phragmites. What is written here in bracket is reeds. The genus Phragmites is well known today around the world as the common reed or marsh grass, P. australis. Tall enough, in some regions it grows higher than 5 meters, and its dense tangled rootstock spreads rapidly. Phragmites fringes not only lakes and slow rivers but also brackish water, and is regarded in many areas as an invasive pest. It has a stout unbranched stem and long slim leaves with bases that sheath the stem as it grows. The soft feathery flower heads are shiny purple-brown flower color. The dried stems are cut for many purposes including roof thatching. Phragmites fossils are among the most common plant remains in most localities, especially from the Miocene epoch to recent times. Reeds, grasses and rushes are placed in the large Monocotyledon family Gramineae. Suburb palm. Palm trees are familiar in many warmer regions and are grown for their wood, frond-like leaves and nut-like or juicy seeds that produce oil, starch and other useful materials, as well as providing edible dates and coconuts. A typical palm has an unbranched, almost straight trunk covered with ringed, arched, scale-like scars, where leaf bases were once attached. The trunk cannot grow thicker than like most other trees, but remains almost, see, this camera moves, see, there is some little intelligence, which may be fan-like, feathery or fern-like. Palm fossils of genre such as Subal and Palmoxylon are known from the late Cretaceous period, 80 plus million years ago. By the early Tertiary period, 60 million years ago, they were evolving fast, and living genera such as Phoenix and Napier had appeared. There are hundreds of extinct species and more than 2,700 living ones. Bevhalstia. Bevhalstia was possibly one of the first flowering plants to have appeared on Earth. Oh, Bevhalstia, first flowering plants that appeared on Earth. And it dates back to early Cretaceous period, some 30 to 125 million years ago. The plant had an enigmatic combination of features, with leaves that had a vascular system similar to those of ferns and mosses. Together with angiosperms like birds and flower-like features, Bevhalstia was likely to have been a delicate herbaceous plant. Despite its fragile nature, however, it has been found in abundance in the fossil records, suggesting that it grew very near to its burial sites, which were possibly quiet lakes or swamp bottoms. If this is accurate, then Bevhalstia probably had an aquatic way of life, perhaps similar to today's Kabomba or fanwort pond and aquarium plants. Some of the first specimens of Bevhalstia were collected in the 1990s as a part of studies of the fish-eating dinosaurs, Baryonyx being carried out at London Natural History Museum. Pabiana. Pabiana is usually regarded as a Cretaceous member of the Magnolias family, Magnoliaceae. These were among the first flowering trees to evolve in the early to middle Cretaceous period. The group still has about 80 to 120 living species, mostly distributed in warmer parts of America and Asia. Although many similar flowers are usually associated with pollination by bees, magnolias evolved their large blossoms well before the appearance of bees. Instead, they are pollinated by beetles. Because of this, the bloom is quite tough and fossilized fairly well. That is compared with other flowers. A primitive aspect of magnolias is their lack of combination depending on the point of view of distinct petals and sepals. The name tepal has been coined to describe these intermediate structures in magnolias which look like the petals of other flowers. The original specimen of Pepiana were discovered at the Rose Creek Quarry near Fairbury, Nebraska in USA in 1968 by a team including American paleontologist Roger K. Pepian, who was so this tree was named after the scientist who was actually searching for fossil invertebrate. The genus was named after him in 1990. So let me show you the pics. Phragmites reed. Then sable palm. Yeah, that's his. Devhulstia, the first flowering plants that appeared on this plant. And last, this is Pepiana, named after the scientist who discovered it. So that's all from my side today. There you go. Bye. Take care. See this moves.